Increase across the area. We started off really nice this morning. Some sunshine north of Highway 60. Clouds from the south and the west starting to work their way on in though and will become partly sunny for the afternoon. Temperatures right now upper 60s to low 70s. Still feeling pretty pleasant. Humidity has been a little bit lower today as well. And throughout the afternoon, your temperatures climbing. We'll be back in the upper 70s for many this afternoon. We'll start to slow down our warming a bit as the cloud cover increases, and we'll stay in the low 70s this evening with some rain and thunderstorm chances on the way for some late this evening and overnight tonight. Highs today for many around 77 to about 79 degrees this afternoon. And we are looking at the potential for maybe some strong to severe storms late this evening and overnight into early tomorrow morning. And then again on Thursday, another chance for some storms that we'll talk about coming up soon. The look here this afternoon at 3 o'clock, still partly to mostly cloudy, rain mostly staying off to our west. And then by the evening hours, making a run towards I-49. And we'll continue to see coverage increasing west of Highway 65. Now, a few showers and thunderstorms will be possible. There is a wave of storms that models are starting to push back off a little bit further to the west. This system will continue to bring maybe some strong winds, some heavy rain, a little bit of lightning, and maybe even some small hail in spots now. But like I mentioned, models mostly pushing that off to the west. There is still the potential that it makes a run closer to Highway 65, splitting our area in half, and some of those storms could be on the strong to severe side. Now overnight into tomorrow morning, we'll wake up to a few scattered showers, mostly south of the interstate in the morning hours. And then in the afternoon, most will be dry, partly sunny, and east of Highway 65, the better chance for maybe a few isolated showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon tomorrow. But tomorrow not a washout by any means. And then another wave of storms pushes on in for Thursday. So today's severe risk is going to be west of 65, closer to I-49, level 1 marginal threat, that better chance, like I mentioned, back over in Oklahoma where there is a level 2 slight risk. Now temperatures today warming up upper 70s for highs. So we're about 10 degrees below average for this time of year. Enjoy it, because I'll just say next week's going to get pretty rough. Heading into the evening hours, we'll be back in the low 70s by 9 o'clock, and overnight lows tonight in the mid to upper 60s out the door tomorrow morning. Now over the next few days, our temperatures starting to climb. We'll see rain and storm chances, that better coverage Thursday, more scattered showers and thunderstorms Friday, and a pretty isolated shower chance on Saturday. Overall looking to be mostly dry for the weekend ahead. Now here's the next wave that we're watching after Wednesday. Thursday, this storm system develops back over off into the plains and dives further to the south, working its way, most models keeping it in central Missouri Wednesday into Thursday. This is Thursday afternoon and evening, I should say, with some heavy rain north of I-44, some thunderstorms. However, some models do push it a little bit further to the south, and there is a severe risk with this, so we will be watching this exact path for you closely. It is going to be still kind of a lower threat risk area, but then by Friday, still looking at more scattered rain and a lot of rain on tap for us with several days and a lot of moisture in place. So a level 2 slight risk for severe storms on Thursday west of Highway 65. I do think this could wiggle around a bit depending on that exact track of this system. But regardless, that better chance will mostly be off to our west over in Kansas and Oklahoma. And flooding will be one of our biggest concerns north of Highway 60, likely picking up more than 2 inches of rain all the way through Sunday, and most of that will continue to clear on out quickly as our pattern changes next week. We are looking at this upper level ridging pattern, and our temperatures warming up after 70s only. Rain and storm chances going up mostly in the late evening and overnight hours west of Highway 65. Winds are lighter today with clouds increasing. Storms overnight. Overnight lows a little warmer in the upper 60s, and tomorrow temperatures back in from the south, coming in from the west, and we will look at partly cloudy conditions today, but temperatures staying below average. Right now we're in the low 70s, most around 71 to 73 degrees, not too bad. And throughout the afternoon today, we'll gradually warm up just a little bit more. The clouds will slow the warming trend, and we'll sit in the upper 70s for highs today with, like I mentioned, cloud cover thickening up a bit. And we have some rain and thunderstorm chances on the way later this evening, continuing overnight tonight. Temperatures for your afternoon, highs around 77 to 79 degrees for most. And as soon as you see the rain work its way on in, temperatures will start to cool off. But rain and storms arrive later on this evening and overnight. And then we have a couple long range severe risks. So one this evening and overnight tonight. It's a pretty low threat, continuing into early Wednesday morning, and then another low risk as well, a marginal to slight threat for some of you on Thursday. We'll talk more about your severe threats and take a look at the potential for flooding over the next couple of days coming up here shortly. Cloud cover continuing to increase, and you see some rain, some thunderstorms off to our west. Those will gradually start to work their way on in, mostly arriving late this afternoon and into the evening hours. That's when rain chances go up closer to I-49. This model here has us still pretty dry by 3 p.m. Better rain chances this evening with a few thunderstorms possible still west of Highway 65 mostly, and back down into northern Arkansas. We are tracking a wave of storms overnight tonight. It looks like models are really trying to start to push this wave back further off to the west, staying over mostly in Oklahoma with some severe storms heading into the overnight hours tonight. We'll watch this closely. I think we could see maybe a few try to make a run at least towards I-49 and maybe into parts of northwestern Arkansas, but that risk is going to be a bit lower for us as we head into the overnight hours as well. And we're certainly not looking at any widespread severe weather. By tomorrow morning, rain south of I-44 for many waking up. And then in the afternoon, a few isolated showers and thunderstorms, mostly east of Highway 65 in our eastern counties. But some brief pockets of heavy rain will certainly be possible, and that will continue into the late afternoon and evening hours. I'd say we're mostly dry. Then another wave of rain and storms arrives by Thursday. So today's severe risk for those storms late this evening and tonight is a bit better off over to our west with a level 2 slight threat. For us, level 1 marginal risk, and that would really be for maybe some damaging wind gusts around 60 miles an hour. So kind of the minimum threshold if we do see a storm or two make a run a little bit further off to the east. Now today, temperatures about 10 degrees below average for this time of year. We'll stay in the upper 70s for highs, and then evening temperatures low 70s at 9 o'clock. Overnight lows tonight in the upper 60s for many waking up tomorrow morning. And the next couple of days, our temperatures gradually beginning to rise, with rain chances going up as well. Thursday and Friday, the best rain coverage we'll see. Maybe a few isolated showers on Saturday, but I think most stay dry heading into the weekend. Should be a pretty nice but hot weekend in the upper 80s to low 90s, which is pretty typical for this time of year. So let's talk about your next wave of storms Thursday into Friday that will bring us some greater rain coverage. A wave of storms back off to our west over in Kansas and Nebraska will start to slide its way on in throughout the day Thursday. And models right now are pushing maybe some of the heaviest of the rain north of I-44. The exact location of this storm system not quite yet set in stone, so we'll have to watch this. It could move a little bit further south, and that would increase a flooding risk a little bit further south as well. And then heading into the day Friday, still some scattered rain from the morning through the afternoon, with a better chance still north of Highway 60. And then rain tries to clear on out heading into Saturday with some clouds hanging around for the day Saturday. But there is a severe risk Thursday. Level 2 slight threat west of Highway 65. They're highlighted in yellow. And then a level 1 marginal risk here in green. Damaging winds, large hail still the main threats, maybe an isolated spin up tornado. But I do think the better chance for severe weather we'll see comes with a risk of flooding north of Highway 60. We'll look at the potential all the way through your Saturday morning for maybe some spots to pick up another 2 to more than 3 inches of rain north of the interstate. Further south, a little bit less rain for you all. So that's going to be coming with the storms tonight, Wednesday, Thursday, and into Friday. Across the U.S. today, bringing rain and storms. Dry over towards the west coast. The east coast, though, seeing a system bringing a few scattered showers and storms with a couple severe thunderstorm warnings for Virginia back into North Carolina right now northeast of Raleigh. And we'll continue to look at some storms back over in the plains with a couple flash flood warnings, southern Oklahoma into parts of southwestern Kansas and Nebraska, and a couple severe thunderstorms as well, one in far southwestern Oklahoma there. And these storms staying off to our west, but we may have some make a run towards some of our far westernmost counties heading into the late evening and overnight hours. Today, level 3 enhanced risk for severe storms coming off the Rockies back over into parts of Colorado there. And temperature wise, we're really nice and mild across the Ozarks today, and really much of the Midwest. Highs in the 70s to low 80s. Pretty mild and below average for this time of year. 90s and 100s across Texas into the desert Southwest. 109 in Las Vegas today, 111 in Phoenix this afternoon. Below average for this time of year across much of the Midwest into parts of the plains. The heat back over towards the West Coast. Enjoy it today. Tomorrow we're still below average. Thursday below average with a bit more rain coverage Thursday and into Friday to keep us a bit cooler. But our pattern is changing up. So if you are looking for those hot, drier summer afternoons, that's going to come next week as we head into your Sunday and Monday. This large upper level ridge takes shape here across the central and eastern half of the U.S. and temperatures will climb really around to even maybe just a little bit above average for this time of year. But of course, it's coming in with higher humidity. So our dew points going up. It'll feel really steamy heading into the weekend and for the start of next week. And check out your feels like temperatures Sunday afternoon. We'll likely feel at least like the mid to hundreds, and then it'll stay that way all the way into at least the middle of next week. Over from Kansas and Oklahoma right now, it's really riding along I-49, moving on in with some thunderstorms and some heavy rain back in Oklahoma. That's led to a couple flash flood warnings. Over the next few hours, this swath of rain will continue to work its way off to the east, lining up kind of along Highway 65, likely by around 7 o'clock, and then continuing to shrink up in coverage as the sun goes down. I do think we'll have maybe a few more showers overnight tonight than what this model shows, but nothing too crazy or widespread. Tomorrow morning, waking up to some scattered rain, mostly south of I-44, with a few more showers possible for some tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures today have been below average again, almost 10 degrees below average for many. In the mid to upper 70s, most around 77 to about 79 degrees, but cooling off right now in our southwesternmost counties back towards Monette, thanks to cloud cover and rain about to move in. We'll be back in the low 70s over the next couple of hours, and tonight's not going to cool off too much. Sitting in the upper 60s tomorrow morning with highs tomorrow afternoon. Back in the low 80s across the area. Still below average with a couple rain and thunderstorm chances, and we'll talk about some severe risks that we do have coming up soon. Storms this evening and tomorrow. A better risk for some maybe on Thursday. We'll talk more about your storm chances and the potential for flooding over the next couple of days. Be kind of in place. So we already have a couple flash flood warnings thanks to the system over in Oklahoma. So we'll watch this closely. Some heavy rain on the leading edge here about to work over towards Neosho, south of Joplin there. And then a few thunderstorms possible, just producing right now a decent amount of lightning. And we'll continue to see coverage expanding further off to the east over the next couple of hours. Right now, just some light to moderate rain over in Carroll, Madison County, and back over into northwestern Arkansas as well. Now, Futurecast shows this system continuing to make a run towards Highway 65 around 8 o'clock, and then starting to maybe break up in coverage as the sun goes down. I do want to hold on to a rain chance, though, still maybe around midnight and overnight tonight. Like I said, though, that severe threat's really not looking great, but there is one that we'll talk about. And then tomorrow morning and for the afternoon, a few more scattered showers. That best chance for rain tomorrow, I think mostly south of I-44 and east of Highway 65. There are some models that actually have a little bit better rain coverage too in the afternoon, so we'll hold on to a few more scattered showers as well for your Wednesday, but it won't be widespread by any means for the day tomorrow. It's not going to rain all afternoon if you do see a few more showers and thunderstorms. However, Thursday and into Friday should be pretty wet days for at least parts of the area as we track another larger swath of showers and storms moving on in. So today's severe risk, like I mentioned, it's lower, level 1 marginal threat. I'd say maybe for some gusty winds up to 60 miles an hour, but I'm more concerned with maybe how much rain we could see in some spots as the system moves in and over the next couple of days as we have better rain chances on the horizon. Temperatures, though, today have been pretty pleasant. It's felt really nice. We'll be back in the low 70s still at 9 o'clock. Your overnight lows tonight in the upper 60s, waking up in the morning, and highs tomorrow, upper 70s to low 80s. Another day below average, feeling a bit more spring-like. It is higher humidity, though, for the next few days, too, but it is going to get worse. Our temperatures daily starting to climb. We'll be back in the upper 80s to low 90s by Saturday and Sunday. And that is actually close to where we should be for this time of year. So enjoy the cooler air while we have it. Rain chances going up Thursday and on Friday. Here's what we're tracking. We have this wave of showers and storms developing Thursday back over in Nebraska into Kansas. It will continue to work its way here into central Missouri, kind of following the upper level flow pattern that we have. And I think we'll see some heavy rain, especially north of I-44 on Thursday for now, and continuing to track off really to the south and east, except it hangs around still Friday morning and into the afternoon too. So some scattered showers, a few thunderstorms, the better rain chance north of I-44, but still maybe a few showers north of Highway 60 could make a run a little bit further south. Unfortunately, not as much rain for you in northern Arkansas, I think, heading into Thursday and Friday. And this weekend starting to look a little bit drier. Severe risk Thursday is going to be a level 2 slight threat we'll be watching out for. Wind, hail, still those primary threats that we'll be tracking, but flooding, especially north of the interstate, will be also a risk, with maybe some spots picking up more than potentially 3 inches of rain. And this is really mostly just through Friday night. So that says over the next 7 days, but a dry ride from suspected heat-related illnesses in Grand Canyon National Park during a stretch of dangerous, reminding hikers to plan ahead, stay hydrated, and avoid strenuous activity during the hottest parts of the day. Cooler afternoon, temperatures below average for much of the region today. And tomorrow, we're also below average. And again on Thursday, we have a couple rain and thunderstorm chances, though, that'll help us stay a bit cooler Thursday and into Friday. But we are looking at a pattern change heading into next week. Big area of high pressure settles on in here across the Midwest, the central U.S., all the way over towards the East Coast. And this is going to help conditions really heat up. The jet stream lifts further off to the north, and hot weather will build on in, kind of the summer heat that we're typically used to. And unfortunately, it's going to come in with higher humidity. So we're looking at pretty steamy weather this weekend as we begin next week through about at least the middle of next week too. So feels like temperatures getting dangerously hot, upper 90s to 100s possible for your Sunday afternoon. And then again on Monday, I think we'll feel maybe even a little hotter than what this model here shows, at least mid to upper 90s, maybe a few more areas feeling like the low 100s again. And so our weather pattern also getting a bit drier. Good news for some, bad news for others, but certainly the heat will pack a punch next week. Some heavy rain right now back over towards Joplin, Neosho, with a flood advisory issued there. We'll continue to see some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms this evening. Not looking too bad here across much of the Ozarks right now, though, but we'll see the rain coverage picking up and a few thunderstorms possible this evening and overnight, with temperatures dropping back only in the upper 60s for lows. Tomorrow afternoon, highs in the low 80s for many, and we are looking at a gradual warming trend with a couple more rain and storm chances we'll have to watch out for, especially on Thursday. That'll time out for you coming up on KY3 News at 5. Moving on in, mostly here in far southwestern Missouri, some thunderstorms passing over through Joplin right now with a flood advisory in place across parts of the Joplin area. This is going to continue to expand over the next few hours, and this swath is maybe a little bit further south than the model here shows, but still the better rain chance is going to be kind of along and west of Highway 65 over the next several hours and into northern Arkansas. This is a look here, 7:30, and then as it works its way into some of our eastern counties, maybe breaking up in coverage a bit. There's a pretty low severe risk. Not too impressed with that severe threat, though, aside from the potential for flooding overnight tonight. Maybe some gusty winds within a few of these thunderstorms. And then tomorrow, we'll have a few more scattered showers. Temperatures today have been below average, mid to upper 70s still for many right now, and temperatures gradually falling over the next few hours. Will be in the mid to upper 60s for overnight lows tonight. And tomorrow, temperatures still below average. Will be in the low 80s with a couple more rain chances and some more storms on Thursday that we'll have to watch closely. I'll have more details on another severe threat coming up.
All right, Danielle.
And a few thunderstorms moving on in right now here in far southwestern Missouri and some showers in northwestern Arkansas. This line is producing some pretty heavy rain, and we are looking at a couple flood advisories. That does include Joplin, Neosho, and back towards Pineville. This is tracking off to the north and east. Few thunderstorms there producing some heavy rain, some lightning. Light to moderate rain over in Berry County, heading into Lawrence County, but I think you'll see this thunderstorm moving on in shortly. And then further to the south, a few showers in northwestern Arkansas to include around Eureka Springs and Carroll County. And over the next few hours, by 8 o'clock, rain makes a run towards Highway 65. And then as it works its way further to the east, we'll still see maybe a few showers east of Highway 65 by midnight tonight. Coverage will shrink up a bit, though. And then tomorrow morning, a few showers, mostly south of I-44, and still maybe a few more than what this model here shows, scattered from the morning into the afternoon hours. Partly sunny tomorrow, though, with a couple more rain chances, and then the better rain chance will arrive as we head into Thursday. Now today there is a very low severe risk. I'd say flooding kind of our greatest threat, though, with this line of showers and storms, and level 1 marginal threat for maybe some 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts possible within some of these showers and storms this evening and overnight tonight. Temperatures today have been cooler. We'll stay in the low 70s by 9, and overnight lows tonight back in the upper 60s, mid to upper 60s, waking up in the morning. Your highs tomorrow still below average, many in the low 80s, and we'll have a couple more rain chances, and the better rain coverage increases for your Thursday and into Friday. Some showers, some storms, the potential for maybe some to be severe on Thursday, and temperatures gradually warming up heading into the weekend with rain chances going down. Now here's a look at Thursday. As we wake up in the morning, we'll see a wave of showers and some thunderstorms pushing on in across the area. Still by the evening hours, some rain, some storms, and some could be severe as well, continuing into the overnight hours and early Friday morning. And then Friday afternoon, some more showers and a few more thunderstorms. So it will rain for a while. So we are looking at the potential for flooding, especially Thursday, lingering into the day. Friday, Saturday, I don't want to rule out maybe an isolated shower, but I do think we stay mostly dry for parts of the area. So the severe risk for Thursday, there's a level 2 slight threat for areas mostly west of 65. Level 1 marginal threat, though, covers most of the area. The potential for damaging winds, some large hail, and maybe even a low tornado threat as well that we'll have to watch out for. But flooding will be a concern Thursday into Friday, even some heavy downpours this evening and early tomorrow. North of Highway 60, the greatest rainfall total, some spots maybe even picking of us looking forward to.
Dry and sunny.
Yes.
All right, it is National Pollinators Week. Which of these bees are not native to North America? Is it cuckoo bees, honeybees, or bumblebees?
Well, I feel like it has to be cuckoo bees because I've never heard of them.
Okay.
But I don't know. Okay. I don't know.
There is a hint. This bee is Missouri's official state bug.
What?
Yes.
What?
Not native is a honeybee.
That makes me sad.
They were originally imported from Europe in the 1600s, so it feels like they've been here a minute.
Well, thank you for bringing them over here. They are amazing. I love myself some honeybees.
All right. New research on...
Yep, some storms this evening. Better...
5. Emily and Steve right back here in half an hour.